13 ships, 4,700 men, one mysterious tragedy. Then the entire fleet received a single order.
Initiate immediate evacuation.
Retreat. December 1946. World War II ends, yet the United States immediately deploys a massive fleet heading south.
This was Operation Highjump, an Antarctica secret mission disguised as science, deploying 13 ships and armed submarines. Commanded by Admiral Richard Byrd, over 4,700 troops sailed toward the frozen, desolate continent. Planned for 8 months, the expedition abruptly terminated after merely 8 weeks due to alleged adverse weather. But what did Admiral Byrd actually discover in that frozen wasteland to justify such an immediate retreat? To understand this rushed withdrawal, we must rewind to 1938, to the eve of global conflict. Captain Alfred Richer led a massive German expedition, methodically mapping over 600,000 square kilometers of Antarctica. This vast, uncharted sector became known as Neuschwabenland, identical to the exact coordinates targeted later by Operation Highjump. In May 1945, several surrendered German submarines mysteriously appeared off the coast of Argentina. Being halfway to the South Pole, these arrivals fueled immediate, dark rumors of a hidden polar redoubt. To definitively neutralize any lingering threats, Secretary James Forrestal authorized the largest Antarctic military deployment in history. The official public mandate was strictly peaceful scientific mapping, yet they brought destroyers and a combat attack submarine. Simultaneously, the military launched Operation Nanak in the high Arctic, creating a bizarre dual polar deployment strategy. Executing 2 massive polar operations during a period of rapid post-war demobilization seemed logically and financially inexplicable. Upon arriving at the Ross Ice Shelf, Admiral Byrd established the massive base camp known as Little America. From this icy staging ground, specialized aircraft launched relentlessly, capturing exactly 49,000 detailed aerial photographs. These flying boats navigated treacherous polar winds, methodically mapping over 70% of the previously unseen coastline. On December 30th, this aggressive reconnaissance carried a fatal cost when the George I seaplane violently crashed. 3 crew members perished instantly in the blazing wreckage, their bodies permanently entombed within the freezing glacier. The desperate survivors endured 13 agonizing days waiting for rescue amidst terrifying blizzards and unearthly Antarctic conditions. Ultimately rescued, the shaken crew witnessed the fleet pressing deeper into the frozen unknown despite the catastrophe. Then, an observation plane discovered something impossible. A massive, entirely ice-free region containing dark, liquid water. Dubbed the Bunger Oasis, this geographical anomaly defied all known scientific models of the frozen southern continent. They had barely begun analyzing these impossible geographical findings. Suddenly, orders arrived demanding an immediate, catastrophic mission halt. Equipment was abandoned, tents were left standing, and the entire Armada fled northward with shocking, unexplained urgency. The official explanation cited deteriorating weather, but meteorological records from March 1947 contradict this claim. The true Operation Highjump Antarctica secret surfaced when Admiral Byrd reached Chile and gave a terrifying interview.
We must be prepared to face new enemy fighter jets.
He warned that the United States must defend against enemy fighters capable of flying pole to pole. The Navy never officially denied this astonishing statement, choosing instead to enforce absolute immediate silence on everyone. Upon returning to Washington, Byrd was immediately summoned for a deeply classified briefing before the Joint Chiefs. The details of that critical meeting were immediately locked away, and crucial files remain heavily classified today. The mystery deepened when Secretary James Forrestal, who originally approved the massive mission, met a tragic end. In 1949, Forrestal died after a fatal plunge from a high Bethesda Naval Hospital window. His personal diaries were promptly confiscated by military intelligence and to this day remain only partially published. 10 years later, amidst the freezing Cold War, the United States and the Soviets suddenly signed a treaty. The 1959 Antarctic Treaty banned all militaries. Enemies cooperated with unnatural ease during total global confrontation. Why did rival superpowers suddenly agree to completely demilitarize an entire continent without any prolonged strategic arguments? Admiral Byrd was the absolute leading expert on polar environments, leading major expeditions since 1928. A commander of his unparalleled prestige had absolutely no logical reason to fabricate warnings about polar threats. By 1955, the military quietly returned, launching Operation Deep Freeze to establish permanent southern bases. This permanent occupation was only possible because they utilized the classified mapping data originally gathered during Highjump. The paradox is striking. A supposedly failed meteorological retreat secretly provided the ultimate architectural blueprint for conquest. If weather alone caused the 1947 withdrawal, who were the technologically advanced enemies Byrd feared?
The official record claims
The immense
it was a
discrepancy
peaceful
between the public scientific
expedition.
mandate and the military combat reality
some
remains
files tell a
completely
different
unresolved
story.
today. Somewhere beneath the brutal, shifting ice of Neuschwabenland, the definitive truth of this military anomaly remains buried. The ultimate conclusion remains absolutely staggering. This massive military armada was not defeated by mere polar elements. They encountered an overwhelming anomaly that triggered an immediate, panicked retreat.
Initiate immediate evacuation. All units
And
retreat from the
decades of
flotilla.
absolute government classification. Operation Highjump disguised a massive military scouting mission perfectly, but the horrifying intelligence gathered remains hidden from humanity. Admiral Byrd's terrifying warning about advanced enemy fighters was never science fiction, but a literal combat assessment. The thick Antarctic ice continues to fiercely guard the exact nature of their catastrophic 1947 encounter. The 1959 treaty was not genuine peace, but a mutual realization of an untouchable threat. Both Washington and Moscow agreed to seal off the continent, keeping civilians completely ignorant of the danger. Admiral Byrd's dire warnings were methodically erased from the official narrative, buried under strict Pentagon censorship protocols. Launched in 1955, Deep Freeze ensured a continuous, watchful military presence disguised as scientific research. Today, the Ross Ice Shelf silently hides the remnants of a massive fleet that fled in terror. The 1947 Joint Chiefs briefing materials remain fiercely protected by the highest government security clearances. If Operation Highjump was purely a peaceful scientific mapping mission, why do its true results remain classified? Perhaps the most profound secrets of human history are not hidden in stars, but beneath polar ice. What is your theory regarding Admiral Byrd and the completely hidden truth of this massive naval deployment? Please leave your thoughts below. Subscribe for more deep dives into incredibly terrifying and completely unresolved historical mysteries.